Welcome to an unassuming industrial estate in Leatherhead. Not the most exciting statement I've ever made, but this is the venue for a really exciting project. Last month I turned up to follow the build of what can only be described as an incredible modified car. Amongst all the parts and usual clutter you always find in any workshop is a car. A car that's taking part in one of the biggest motoring events in the world, and a car that's shrouded in secrecy. So that's why I decided to meet the man in charge and check out what his plans were for a ridiculously cool set of wheels.
How you doing, Kay? Good? Good to see you again.
Yeah.
We're at Xquisite today with Kay. He is they are the godfathers of car modification. Tell us a bit about what you do.
So, we do everything really. What don't we do? Any aspect of car modification, custom builds, paintwork, anything, that's what we do. We specialise in the real off-the-chart stuff that can't normally be done. So pretty much anything. Last
time we was here, Kay told me about a top secret project, which I'm really excited to find out more about. So, Kay, I've heard some rumblings about a little bit of a secret car that you've got.
Oh, yes.
Are you going to tell me anything about it, or?
Come on, I'll show you. I'll tell you all about it. This is top secret, though.
Right. Is that right? Well, that's just a normal car.
It is. But
okay. So it's a it's a Mercedes.
So this is our donor car. It's an AMG GT.
Isn't that the new one?
It is, yes.
Okay, so that's the new Mercedes.
And we've got a very good client who wants us to make it look exactly like you would, a race car.
Wow.
Funnily enough. This is the new GT3. And
so this is for the road?
This is for the road.
So you're going to make that into this,
yep,
but still on the road.
And what's really special about this is that this is actually going to be going on the Gumball.
No pressure then, Kay. The Gumball 3000, the mecca of supercar road trips. From its humble beginnings, where a group of mates just went travelling in their flash rides, to the legendary annual event which has become one of the biggest motoring lifestyle brands in the world. Ultimately, it's a huge one-week party where motoring enthusiasts from all across the world and from all different backgrounds show off their incredible cars. Oh, and it just happens to involve driving 3,000 miles. The event is so massive that every year it attracts more and more actors, TV stars, sports stars, musicians and celebrities from all over the globe. As far as I know, the Chuckle Brothers have yet to take part, but we can all live in hope. This year, the rally is taking Europe by storm, starting off in Dublin and going all the way to Bucharest. Kay and his crew not only have to modify the AMGT in time for the Gumball so it looks the part, but also so it can finish the whole journey without any problems. This is no small task.
Wow. So we're not only building it, we've got to build it so that it can be used on the Gumball and last the whole week without any problems. So it's certainly going to be a challenge for us.
And you've got to not let any bits fall off.
Exactly that. No bits falling off, exactly.
So is that going to be metal? Is it fiberglass?
We're going to be using a combination of fiberglass and alley, because the actual car's alley, so we'll use some aluminium in it.
So there isn't a body kit, so you're creating all this from scratch?
This does not. This exists as a race car, but we are going to be making this from scratch.
Side exit exhaust?
Exactly,
side exit exhaust.
We are. Nice. We're doing that. Wheels, load suspension.
So there's going to be some late nights?
Yeah.
Lots of late nights?
Lots of late nights.
Lots of head scratching, lots of throwing tools.
Lots of arguments.
The question is then, who the hell would want a road-going race car that is that insane? There's got to be somebody mental.
Yep, you could say that. I'd probably say it's the best known Gumball team. It's for Team Galag.
So who exactly are Team Galag? Well, it's now a month later and Kay's got all the goss.
The guys are probably one of the most extreme Gumball teams. Most famous for the Batman tumbler that they built.
Yes, I know about that.
Various very, very cool cars. They always have a real presence at Gumball, and you know, probably one of the more famous teams, really.
Okay. So you're building them a new car?
We are indeed.
Okay. You told me last time that it was secret and you wasn't even sure if it was going to happen.
Exactly.
And the car hadn't even arrived.
We had a delivery a few weeks ago of a lovely, nice, almost new car for us to cut up.
Yep.
And it is an AMG GTS, and we've got about 5 weeks to do it.
5 weeks?
Pretty much, yeah. It was 10, then it was 7, now it's 5.
5 weeks?
5 weeks, yeah.
From start to finish?
Pretty much, yeah.
From driving in to driving back out again?
Yeah, yeah.
That is insane.
Very.
I think we need to have a look at this car, don't we? Whatever you've done
Let's
to
have
this
a look.
car. Good God. Wow.
Just the beginnings, obviously.
Wow.
We've only been working on it on probably a few days.
That is insane.
We've had to do a lot of work to try and keep it usable as a road car, but still look like the GT3, which is a lot harder than it sounds.
That is insane.
Just in case I haven't emphasised it enough, this is insane. Just look at it. What started as a standard AMG GT is already starting to look like a race car. But there's still a long, long way to go for Kay's crew. So what exactly has been done so far?
We spent a lot of time mocking up because we can't just take the design and literally replicate it. It just won't work.
No.
Because it's a road car and it needs to be driven on the road.
Yeah.
We've basically mocked it all up. We use card and foil tape and things like that to mock it up, make sure the client's happy. Once he's happy, then obviously we can start the fabrication. So we've only really been fabricating a few days, but you can see we've done a lot in a few days.
That is like, it already looks like a completely different car.
It's taken hours and hours and hours of work just to get to this stage, but obviously there's loads more that's got to be done. Most of the bodywork is being done in fiberglass.
Oh my God.
Every single piece of this car has had meticulous work done to it, which, believe you me, is a shed load of man hours.
You've done this by hand, effectively. Just layer it on, layer it on, and layer it on. So you've just took a mould off the original quarter.
We've basically made a mock-up, which is sort of like cardboard, tape, anything to get the shape, and then sort of perfect the mould to then lay the fiberglass on, and then we work off of this.
And then you've got to replicate it exactly the same
on the other side,
but opposite.
Millimetre perfect.
Because you can't just do this twice, can you? Because it's the opposite side.
Yeah.
And then you've got to do the same with the front, both sides.
That's the challenge. Making one side good is the easy bit. It's made in Germany, perfected by us.
Perfected in Leatherhead.
So this labour-intensive project is starting to take shape, and hopefully the end result will get Team Galag noticed in a sea of supercars. Aside from the bodywork then, Kay gives me a heads up on what else is being done.
Most of the work we've started on is the front. You can see we've got wide fenders now, the beginnings of the side sills, the extension to the bumper. All of that has been fabricated on this side and is being done as we speak on the other side.
So how much wider is it going to be?
I think we worked out that the rear is going to be around 5 inches wider.
Right, okay.
And the front's going to be around 2 to 3 inches.
So
it doesn't sound a lot, but it will actually, it makes a big difference.
So it's going to have a big road presence.
Without
massive
doubt.
road presence.
It's going to be a huge car, yeah.
Then pair it up with the big wing on the rear as well.
Exactly.
This is just one of the many parts on the car that are going to make this stand out on the Gumball. Whoever said cars don't have wings was actually slightly inaccurate. From what I can see, this baby's going to fly.
So this is... Oh my God, it's huge. Is it as tall as me?
It will be in line with the roof, yeah.
It's actually taller than me, and I'm 6'4", so it's actually taller than me. And then that'll have the end plates on as well, the big rear wing. We've got the big rear quarters as well. It's gonna have such a big road presence. Yeah. It is literally gonna be just a neck snapper, isn't it? It really is. It's just
one of a kind, isn't it?
And that's the point of it, I guess. That's why they want it doing. That's why you boys are doing it.
And rightly so, the boys are full of enthusiasm for the job, but with such a mammoth task ahead of them, Kay and the team at Xquisite are really going to need it to help them get the car finished in time.
Huge wheels, big wide arches, big wing. I'm assuming the engine is staying the same.
It is. It's a 4-litre V8 twin turbo.
So it's already quite special
Exactly, yeah,
anyway.
Yeah. We're adding an exhaust, which is going to sound amazing.
Yeah.
but we're not doing any other engine work.
Same exit or side exit or?
We were going to do side exit, but unfortunately it's not going to really work. We'd have to do a tunnel in the chassis, which we don't really have time for. So we're going for a rear exit, but it's going to sound...
Which is still going to sound incredible.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Left to do then, it looks like there's quite a lot left to do.
There's loads to do, yeah.
So you've done the basic mock-up, but you've still got to finish all the front end.
Yep.
The rear end has all got to be fitted to the car. Wheels have got to go on. Suspension's got to be fitted.
Custom rear wing, feet. There's loads to do. We've got to make sure it can actually get into things like the Eurotunnel, over speed humps.
You wouldn't even think that.
We've
Will
got
it fit in doorways, underground parking?
Exactly. All of that has to be taken into account.
God, you wouldn't even think that, would you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a compromise between looks and practicality. It has to work. It has to be usable. Otherwise, there's no point building it.
No, of course not. Because it ultimately is being built for a 3,000-mile road trip.
Exactly.
In the space of a week.
Exactly.
How long after you've finished it does the rally start?
I imagine we'll be finishing it as it's getting shipped over to Dublin.
Really? Right, so literally it drives out of here, straight onto a boat.
Yeah.
The next day after?
Yeah.
To start a 3,000-mile trip around Europe.
Exactly.
Are you excited about it then?
Oh yeah, we're all pumped. Yeah, we're loving it.
Just literally willing to put the hours in, get it done,
definitely.
get it out there.
It's such a cool project, and to be honest, the guys are really cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
So Kay's excited, the guy in the hat's excited. In fact, the whole crew are buzzing with passion for this extreme project. Even I'm excited, and I'm nothing to do with it. Imagine how Team Gallagher feeling, because ultimately they're the ones who eventually will get to drive this work of art. Assuming Kay and the boys finish it in time, of course.
So I'm going to come back in a week's time, see how you boys are getting on, catch up with you. What do you think will be different?
It's going to look very different in a
week's
time. It won't be finished, but it's certainly going to be looking a lot more like what it's going to look like when it is finished.
So we'll have a lot more of an idea as to the actual finished shape.
Exactly.
Of course it won't be finished in time. There's still a ridiculous amount of work to do in essentially a very short space of time. Turning a Mercedes AMG GT into a GT3 race car lookalike has never actually been done before. So literally everything is having to be done from scratch. Dublin is calling, boys. It's only 5 weeks away. I would give them a hand, but my dinner's waiting in the oven. I have complete faith that the Xquisite crew will get the job done. Whether they get it done in time though, well, we'll see. It's amazing what you can accomplish in 7 days. Just ask Craig David. But in that time, how has the Xquisite team been getting on with their mammoth task of completely modifying a Mercedes AMG GT for this year's Gumball 3000? As always, the pressure is on and the clock is ticking, so I've travelled back to get all the latest from Kay, see how the boys and the actual car are getting on. Last time I was here, main man Kay told me it would look very different by now. So has he and his crew delivered? How you doing?
I'm okay, how are you?
Not bad.
Good.
Thought I'd pop back. It's been a week.
Has it been a week?
It's been a week.
Oh, wow.
7 days to the day. It looks completely different.
It does, yeah.
Completely different again.
Yeah.
Just insane amounts of progress.
Yeah.
Looks-wise, it's getting there, but it's obviously still way off the mark. The rear quarters have literally been done and dusted, but the sills are still on the to-do list. Tick-tock, Kay. Tick-tock.
So as you can see, that wing is now pretty much there. We've done the scoop. That looks really cool. The skirt's all been built. It's being built actually as we speak. We've still got to do the vents in both the front wing and the rear quarter, and obviously finish off the side.
Vents, where are they going?
So there's one vent going in around here.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 slatted vents on the front wing.
Just to tie it into the race car look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you can see, the rear quarters are now there as well. Both sides are done, are all on, so it's actually just down to finishing, some shaping, some fitting.
Yeah.
This is kind of the long part that takes time to make it perfect, but this is the bit that really is going to separate it from a bad job or a good job.
I mean, you can see the width that it's added now.
Yeah,
what's that,
yeah.
3 inches wider than standard?
Yeah, I think it's about 3 inches at the rear, 2.5 inches at the front, so it's a big car anyway, it's quite a wide car.
Yeah.
By the time you've added that onto it, he's going to have some fun going through it.
And is that going to cause issues, do you think? I mean, for instance, do you know how wide a bus is?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Is it,
But you can't get buses through width restrictions, so, and this isn't a bus, it's a car.
but is that going to cause an issue?
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
So is it wider than a bus?
No, it's not.
It's not?
A bus, no, not quite.
Is it, I was going to say, but it's probably not far off.
Probably not far off, yeah.
Maybe I'm getting a little too obsessed with buses, but for the record, your average bus is about 8 feet wide, whereas the AMG GT3 is about 6'7". Thing is, most width restrictions are 6'6", so it's going to be really tight, perhaps too tight. Let's meet Ollie, shall we?
Ollie,
Hey, Dave.
how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
What are you doing?
Well, the front splitter, it's going to get a bit of grief, isn't it? So, building a bracket to go off the frame and put the front arches, it bolts in here.
Okay.
The splitter, once it's, so making a test fit out of MDF, and then fiberglass model is going to, well, there's two options. We're either going to bolt through here or sort of sandwich it between a couple of layers of fiberglass, but at the moment I'm creating this so that it's got some strength. I want to get it strong enough so that you can stand on the thing, I'll be happy with.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is literally there, just strength then, so it's for speed bumps, potholes, if
all
it
this
bottoms
time
out.
that's never going to be seen, yeah.
So when I come back towards the end, we'll test it.
All right.
And I want you to stand on it, and we'll then look back and go, no, you was right. You managed, you pulled it off. Well done.
Well, let's make this thing strong then, eh?
Crack on. Well done. Looks
Good day.
great. I'll leave you to it.
Don't think they'll actually want me standing on the car when it's finished, but everything's got to be tested before G-Day. The splitter isn't the only engineering challenge to overcome though. Even little details are causing real headaches.
Last time I was here, you was literally cutting the hole out, weren't you? There was a cutting disc on it, and you was cutting. Apparently not that bothered either. It's just like, whatever.
On the outside, on the inside, I was
a little bit scared.
quite nervous, yeah.
Yeah, because you've got the difference between the drawing that you've got is obviously the car is different to the road car, and there's only certain things that you can change, so you can't replicate it exactly the same. Is that what you mean? So it's not just look at it, copy it, and it's like that. You've got to work around things, I would imagine.
Basically, yeah, because on the actual GT3, the door is probably like sort of 4 or 5 inches shorter.
Right, okay.
Lying on the skirt.
Are you going to go back to put more holes in it, or are you going to just change certain elements, or will it be in the wrap, or how do you think you're going to...
I'm going to leave the wing as it is. I'm happy enough with the wing. It's
Yeah.
just the line from the bottom of the skirt is what I'm sort of changing at the moment. So we're going to extend it slightly further just so it reaches the end of the door. The rest is just a trade secret. It's
So
magic.
you can't tell us?
Nah.
That's the exquisite way? Is that what it is?
Can't give away all the secrets.
Don't worry boys, your secrets are safe with me. Mainly because you won't tell me what they are anyway. So as I grab a cup of tea and try and keep out the way, all the Xquisite boys crack on with a job in hand. It's literally a huge mixture of skilled workmanship, intense labour, and it has to be said, extreme passion for the project, which I really do admire. I would say they're virtually on schedule, but apparently a camera crew and an annoying presenter keep slowing them down. And it's times like this I just think, what's that long bit of wood doing on top of the car?
Explain to me why there's a big piece of wood going from the roof to a stepladder. Because I don't think that's going to be in the final design, is it?
Well, we can leave it there if you like. But yeah, basically trying to keep some sort of idea of the rough height of the top of the car, so that the wing's going to be
So it's for the wing.
slightly over.
Okay,
the top
that
of the
makes
car.
sense now. So it's, yeah, okay.
So it's going to have an adjustable set of arms on it.
Okay, so that's not what the piece you're using?
No,
No,
obviously,
okay.
no. So this is like first rough sketch up, something to work from, and some sort of idea of what it's going to look like.
So that'll be aluminium, and then your wing is wider than the car, is it?
Definitely at least as wide as, if not a bit wider.
So even bigger. So it'll add even more
Yeah.
width. So it's going to be at least
It's over the 2
probably
metre mark.
there,
Yeah.
at least each side.
Yeah.
That
if
height,
not more. Yeah, and
that width.
clear with the arches. Yeah.
Is it going to fall off or no? Do you have any idea if it's going to stay on at 150 mile an hour? Yeah. Is that a guess? That's a guess, isn't it? You have no idea, do you?
No.
You have no idea.
No, but it's not something we've done stuff like that before, so it's obviously something you take into account.
So you've got some.
We're pretty confident it's not going to, but obviously until it's actually driven, you don't know. That's why it goes on a test drive, isn't it? So
You don't know it's going to fall off.
yeah, we're going to obviously do our best to make sure that it's plated both sides. There's a decent amount of strength on it, so it's not going to go anywhere. But obviously that's what the first test run's for. First
Yeah.
test drive.
So it will be test driven.
yeah,
And
Kay's going to test drive it, make sure it all works, and that any issues we'll obviously sort it out before it goes out. And yeah, once it's done. No worries.
But you've got experience in it before. It's not like
Yeah, we've done all sorts.
you're not winging it.
No, not this time.
You're not winging it. Get that? Did you get that?
Well, I thought it was funny. I think they're just being polite. When you think about it, it's incredible that just from pictures by eye with no drawings, the Xquisite crew has created something that really does look like an AMG GT3. Just look at that! But they're still following first principles for all this. Proper engineering. And it's time to trial fit that front splitter.
About make it, right? I've got a bar from that to the back, split it down the centre so it comes in from the sides. Or you after this being a single. Yeah, I was going to make it one piece. Clipping a tyre.
It's sort of doing. It's just getting stuck.
Yeah, so what? So the bit.
No, it's
when
not.
it's
It's
that
the distance from the new fairing. Jack it up and work.
Right. Is this going to have a board on it once you do it?
Well, yeah.
You're already not going to work, are you? Through the centre of your thing.
But you can fit the board after.
Got a removable board, yeah?
So screw into it. Yeah.
So just before I leave them to it, a few problems requiring solutions have reared their ugly heads. Well, no one said it was going to be easy, boys. And if someone did say that, then they've obviously never tried to transform an AMG GT in only 5 weeks. As long as Kay is still smiling though, things should be alright, surely? Although he's so laid back, you can never actually tell with our Kay.
So, are you happy with the schedule? Are you on schedule? Are you behind schedule?
I'll be happy when it drives out the door and
Right.
goes to Dublin. Yeah, no, the guys have made a lot of progress. They've done a good job. I'm quite happy with what they've done so far.
So we're going to be back again in another week or so.
Cool.
Do you think there'll be much difference again? I would imagine with the progress you've made so far, it's probably going to look like a different car again.
Yeah, I'd imagine so, yeah. There's going to be a lot more subtle changes because there's a lot of sort of panel work that we have to do now. And I'd imagine all the spoiler plates will be made and splits should be on. And
Yep.
we might even have some wheels, you never know.
Right, okay.
That'd be nice.
From America, yeah.
Maybe,
So they could be
maybe.
here then. We'll be back in a week's time for another progress update.
Yep.
And good luck. And I will
Thank
see you
you.
then. See you
Have fun.
later.
See you next week.